Hey, shalom, y'all. Praise to the Most High for the Christ. This is Prince Malachi Ben Israel. Hey, just coming to inform y'all, let y'all know, man, that getting ready to release the our other segment of the class, the part 2, spiritual unconsciousness. You know what I'm saying? Hey, talking about the witchcraft and everything and the customs of what everybody is practicing, the new norm of today. And so then people saying that they're spiritual and all that. But you know, hey, I'm just coming to let y'all know, man, that I got spiritual unconsciousness part 2, the first segment of it, the first half of it. So hey, y'all come in, check it out. Bring your Bible, bring your pens, bring your tablets. Hey, bring the Spirit of the Lord with you, and come in and build with us, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Check out what we got going on, because it's a very good series that we're teaching. Me and brother Ezekiel John Daniel Israel, and yeah, y'all can check us out. I'm gonna be releasing it on YouTube. Capital M Malcolm, capital P Palmer dash WI9WI. Check it out, y'all. Hey, and you can go to my Facebook page, which is Prince Malachi Ben Israel, Facebook, and hey, y'all come in, man, and grow, man, and build. All right, shalom.
Shalom, Israel. Grace
Shalom,
and blessings
shalom.
from God the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ be unto you.
Shalom.
I'm Ezekiel, and this is
Prince Malachi Ben Israel. Shalom, brothers and sisters. All those that are live on our Facebook and YouTube pages, we welcome y'all. We say thank you. Shalom. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
For today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, man. You glad it's Sabbath, man?
Man, all praise to the Most High. We got to another Sabbath, man. So joyful. So
Yeah,
glad.
man. Yeah, we want to say shalom to our brothers and sisters that's in the congregation with us, assembling with us. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom. Shalom.
And so then we're just giving thanks and honor to the Most High God for His only begotten Son, Jesus the Christ, who came, hung, bled, and died for Israel, for His people.
That's right.
And so then, man, I tell you what, man, we're gonna be going through some things, and
Okay, so yeah, no delay.
okay, cool. So then now, you know, we just getting through this thing now with it, you know. This class is gonna be spiritual unconsciousness 2, part 2. Yes, spiritual unconsciousness part 2, picking up from part 1 where we started talking about the things of witchcraft and all those things, and that the lighting of incense and candles up to the Queen of Heaven, this conscious movement thing that a lot of our brothers and sisters, and you know what, and a lot of Edomites are into this thing too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about vibrations and energies and burning sage and all this old craziness and foolishness. Man, you know, it's you know, they're replacing energies with spirit instead of spirit. They're replacing the divine, the high divine, or whatever they call God.
Great divinity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, for instead of God. You know, they're the natural 12 laws of nature and all that foolishness with the 12 tribes, with the commandments of the Most High God. You know, and it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. I tell you, man. But we're gonna get down to it. We're gonna prove to y'all through the word. Those that are practicing those things, you know, talking about chakras, the Shamala, well, some of them
Shambhala, maybe?
Shabala?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, it's different. It's you know, they got all different types of sects of the belief that they all practice in.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is that? What's the one they practice?
Was it Lakumi?
Yeah, Lakumi and and just, you know what I'm saying, they Bohemian, you know what I'm saying, all them different sects that, you know, all our brothers and sisters that practice these things of the so-called quote unquote spiritual conscious movement. Erica Badu, India Irie, you know, and a lot of other brothers and sisters out there, man. They got, you know, it's a big movement that's going on, but we're gonna debunk all that because it's witchcraft. It's just witchcraft.
That's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is just witchcraft. Burning sage, and all that other craziness, praying in front of candles and incense to the Queen Mother, to the Queen of Heaven, all that craziness. Man, hey, we're going to debunk all that here today. Exactly. And that's who you think we're getting all this stuff from. This so-called spiritual conscious foolishness. Mm-hmm. It came from Egypt.
That's right.
But that's just to give y'all something to chew on and think about. Brothers and sisters, I hope that y'all stay here for the rest of the class. We're going to go through this part 2, spiritual unconsciousness. We're finna get into that phase of the class, y'all, because, hey, it's really a serious matter that we get to this. That we do this and that, you know what I'm saying, hey, so we can get a better understanding of what we're doing. Anything you want to add to it, little brother? You go ahead. You can say what needs to say.
No. As far as all this pseudo spirituality, all this fake spirituality, all this turning to this way or that way instead of going a straight and narrow, all this other broad way that everybody want to go down, all that's going to lead to death. Mm-hmm. It's not going to lead to life. It's not going to lead to eternal life. Anything that tells you to go against what the Word of God says, that's just going to lead to death. There's a reason why God had given us these laws, statutes, and commandments. And it's for our good. All right? They are for our good. He wants to give us life. But people reject it and say, well, no, I want to find my own way. Well, I mean, you're gonna find death in the way. That's what you're going to find.
You want to pull up that class? We're going to start off with a class. We want to show y'all something that we discovered. And a lot of people that choose to worship other gods and find other methods or ways of trying to get into the kingdom of heaven because they want to find peace is because they have no peace, number one. And then second of all, is because of the fact that they're spiritually wounded. They're hurt by Christianity, by certain organizations, and they're confused. You know, all Satan want to do is just try to catch you at the most vulnerable time in your life.
You talking about unconscious witchcraft versus conscious witchcraft? Is that what you mean?
No. The one about the sisters, black women leaving the church.
Yeah.
And so what we have to understand, we have to realize, y'all, is that all this is just the fact that because they're spiritually wounded. I done it. I was spiritually wounded in the Christian church when my father died, and I was going through some things, and I was 18 years old. Hold what you got on that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm pausing.
And so, and what it is that, you know what I'm saying, hey, I worshiped another God. I practiced Islam for almost 20 years. 18 years old. You know? And so, hey, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, but there are times when, you know what I'm saying, hey, I thank the Lord that He brought me back to where I'm at now.
That's right.
On the right side of Him. So let me we're gonna check out this video right quick though, and just give y'all let y'all check it out. But this is why a lot of people choose to go the ways that they go, especially in this spiritual unconsciousness or spiritual conscious movement. Let me have that.
All right.
I honestly believe Jesus was one of the most toxic relationships I've ever had in the entirety of my life.
You shouldn't keep your magic in the dark. Like, this is your soul. You need to share it to the world.
Let it rain on me now. So be it. So it is. I was a super Christian.
Daddy.
I was raised in the church. I was a worship leader. I'm like singing all over the place.
You look like I need to bring that camera down a little bit, or we good on there?
Yeah, you can bring it down a little more.
Okay.
How many times have I prayed to Jesus to show up for things that were actually needed and He didn't show up?
Melissa Whetstone grew up as a preacher's kid,
Okay.
but 12 years
Come down
ago, she
some more.
left the church. She says the community felt toxic, and she
Alright.
didn't feel a
That-
personal
yeah, it's
connection
good.
to Jesus.
Yeah, that's good.
How are you? I need the frankincense and mercy is here.
She eventually discovered Lakuni, a religion that was brought to Cuba by enslaved West Africans.
It's just a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's a beautiful community spirit. You're learning and growing with other people. So I really love it.
Black folks have left the church in higher numbers over the last decade than ever before, and younger generations are even less likely to affiliate with the church. But many young people are still seeking spirituality, and some are reviving traditions from Africa and the Caribbean through practices that connect them with their ancestors.
This is my Pt.2 or my altar. A few glasses of water, and that's just for my specific ancestors who watch and look over me. I have liquor that my uncle likes. Gotta make sure he's still getting lit on the other side. I talk to them, I spend time with them. Like, this is my place to be.
So can you talk about some of the differences in what you study now to what your relationship was with Christianity then? What are you getting out of Bikuni?
I get answers to my prayers. That I tell people that all the time. Like, when they're like, what's the difference? Like, because my prayers are answered. Like, that's one. When I come to my altar and I pray to my ancestors and I actually take my time to cry out, not only do I get responses, I get physical manifestations and answers.
You were born into a household where your dad was a pastor?
Yes.
How is that relationship with him now, and how did your family react?
I'm the black sheep of my family. I love my family to death. They love me, but we don't see eye to eye. They're like, girl, you gonna know, you want a bird? And I'm like, if I was in a bird, I'm pretty sure we'll be birding together.
Okay. All right. So this is a sister that's practicing Lakuni, a sect of spiritual consciousness, which is nothing really but just witchcraft. And you know, and she's talking about how her father was a pastor in church. She was on devotion team, and you know what I'm saying, hey, she was working inside the church. And there probably was some things that she's seen inside the church. And the one thing that she said that just killed me, she said that Jesus was the worst relationship she could have ever had. How?
Oh man.
How?
She couldn't do what she wanted to.
Right. She couldn't do. See, and that's what's wrong with a lot of them today. They don't want, man, you live by the laws of the land of man every day. The laws of the land of man every day. And you'll do everything to try to keep the what, 5,000 some laws, or however many laws it is in the land.
Too many.
But you won't even try to keep the laws that God got in the book. And you got this manual with you every day. That will come, God said, let God be true, but every man a liar. So now, so this is what we're picking up off, like I said, part 1. This is part 2. Let me see, just to make sure that we're on the right track here, because you know what I'm saying, hey, ancestral worship, you notice she had the cross with the water and stuff and all this, and she cried out to her ancestors, and man, this is foolishness. Where you want to go with that, little brother? You want and we could pick up on Deuteronomy 18,
Okay.
and verse 9.
Okay. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
And so then what we have to understand is that the abomination of the nations, we was in Egypt. And so then, you know, hey, you know, now, you know, all this is taking place in Africa, the continent of Africa, the Pan-Africans, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and I mean, man, hey. And so what we have to understand and realize is that he told us not to take on these customs of the other nations. Read.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
So son or daughter to pass through the fire. They was the African people, the Hamites and the Canaanites and all them, they were sacrificing their children. Spells and curses and witchery and all that. Read.
Or that uses divination.
Come on.
Or an observer of times.
And so then observer of times, meaning like horoscopes, tarot reading card readings, and astrology, and studying the enchanters and witches. Read.
Or an enchanter or a witch.
Come on.
Or a charmer. Or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Familiar spirits. Understand it. What that sister was saying. She understand it. It's just like I said, these familiar spirits. You wake up and you call yourself my mama. I was with my grandmama, my daddy, my mama, my brother. That's a familiar spirit. They ain't come to see you. That's a figment of your imagination. You're in mourning so badly about, and don't get me wrong, I mean, hey, it is what it is. And I'm not talking about the MORNING. I'm talking about the MOURNING. Mourning, understanding. And so then what we have to learn and we have to realize, y'all, is that these familiar spirits, man, hey, it's and we, and while we was in the continent of Africa at the time, after Egypt, we spread it out. The Israelites, we spread it out. Verse 10, we're in
11.
Verse 11, no, I take that back. Okay, and 70 AD, during the time of Rome conquered Jerusalem, understand it, y'all, we was spread it out even further. And we was going into unmarked territories. You know what I'm saying? And God kept telling us, don't take up on those behaviors of them other nations. So then understand it. And so he told us, don't take on the abominations of the other nations. Verse 11, read.
Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
A wizard or a necromancer. Understand it, a necromancer. Understand it, a wizard is nothing but a male witch. And so understand it, we're practicing these things. Don't get me wrong. You're sitting up there, you're talking about, you're wearing the ankh rings and, this is life, and the top part of it's supposed to be the head of it's supposed to be the vagina or whatever, and excuse me, and the two sides that come out supposed to be the fallopian tube from the woman, and the bottom end supposed to be, and that's supposed to be the shaft of the man. Man, that shit don't look like nothing but a cross to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same. It's the same thing. And we come out of Egypt to escape these Hamite customs, and then we went into the land of Canaan, which are more Hamites. And that's the people that you see all these African customs. They say, oh, we're going to get the customs of Africa. Meanwhile, them customs, they didn't save anybody from the slave ships. They didn't save nobody. So why do you look towards that for salvation now? It don't make no sense.
Exactly. And so, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got to get to the place and the point where we understand that, those that talk to dead spirits and to the dead or spiritual, God said that we shouldn't find people like that amongst us, wizards and necromancers and charmers and all that. Those are familiar spirits, which is not good for us. It's not good for us at all, y'all. Verse 12.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
So then he understand it. He said he's going to drive them out. You know what I'm saying? Reason God drove out the nations, you know what I'm saying? Especially when Moses, he was leading us out of Egypt into the wilderness, you know what I'm saying? Around about middle end of Deuteronomy all the way up to Joshua. You'll read about this whole history. You know what I'm saying? And Lord commanded Israel to kill. He told us, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all gonna kill these other nations. Y'all gotta take this land. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and in the land was we was in the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we gotta understand. We have to realize, y'all, is that these customs are what you are practicing. You know, you're burning incense, you're burning candles, doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? Sage wood and sage and, wearing crystals and putting crystals under pillows and window sills. What my wife was doing. I wasn't. And I'm not today. I don't play that. I worship and follow the true and living God. Let's go back to Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 44.
And what do you want? Verse 17?
The one that the men knew that the wives was burning incense?
No, starting with 15.
15, yes.
Jeremiah 44 and verse 15.
Read.
Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods.
So these men knew that they wives. Now some of the men knew that their wives were burning incense to other gods. Read.
And all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
Burning incense unto the Queen of Heaven. Understand it, y'all. Hey, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, hey, it's self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, when you set up these altars and you burn an incense, that's to other gods. That's to gods that don't exist.
Right.
Like the Queen of Heaven. That's not real.
Right.
There ain't no Queen of Heaven. It's only the King of Kings.
Right.
The Lord of Lords. That's it.
I'm not talking about the fact of, I'm not talking about the fact of if you're burning candles and incense for aromatherapy to make your space or make your house smell good. You know what I'm saying? Give it a different feel to it. I'm with that.
Sure. Even in the temple, they had frankincense and myrrh.
Myrrh,
right?
exactly.
And, there's nothing wrong with setting up a candle. But you burning sage trying to remove spirits. Who are you doing that for? The Bible don't say to do that.
Right. Right. Exactly. And so, you know what I'm saying? And this is what we got to understand. We have to realize, y'all, is that, you know what I'm saying? We're practicing these things. We're practicing these things of familiar spirits. And like I said, and it's mainly more, if you looked at the statistics on that clip that we just showed, it said that 80-something% of black women have left the church?
Right. Yeah.
87%, something like that?
I don't think it specifically said women, but black people these days leaving the church. Yeah.
Right.
And then black women going into this spiritual,
other
BS.
stuff, yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying, y'all? So, hey, we got to, and which, hey, they say that voodoo and hoodoo and all, it ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with that, y'all. It has a lot to do with that. A lot of herbalists that call themselves, they want to heal. They want to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and it ain't nothing wrong with herbs. Herbs is in the Bible. Genesis tells you about the herbs. Mm-hmm. That God gave us herbs and plants from the seeds from the fields for meat to us. We're supposed to eat it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? They use the herbs for spells. Mm-hmm. Making money potions. And we're going to get into that. We're going to show y'all that on the clip too. You know what I'm saying? So then, and this is what we're going to go back to the video and show y'all some more. Because, you know what I'm saying? These are just people that have had situations where they did not want to yield to what God was saying. They don't have no patience. They just don't believe. But they want you to believe that, I know there's a God. I know there's a, okay, if you know there's a God, why are you replacing him with this other stuff that you're doing?
And you see a lot of it because, she said that she was, her father was a pastor in the church and stuff like that. So a lot of it is they realize, okay, there's something missing here in the church. The church is not guiding us in the right direction. I see that. There's something going wrong, evil here in the church. So I got to go out here and search for it in some other place, in some other direction. So oftentimes, I blame Christianity when it comes to this. You're not leading the people in the right direction. So that's why they're looking for something else. And they go into this spiritual BS.
Hey, for real. For real, man. Hey, so, and so, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so let's let go back to the video.
Let me finish this in verse 17.
Okay,
because
please.
there's something here that we didn't touch on that they were doing in the video.
Okay.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Right? So that's what we saw with the altar. She had all the glasses of water. She had the liquor. She had all them drink offerings to the Queen of Heaven.
To the Queen of Heaven.
Yeah.
Man, hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They'll do anything to, you know, they'll do anything, man, to replace God.
That's right.
God is too strict. There's too many rules.
There's
too, you know what I'm saying?
I don't like living by those rules.
Yeah.
We heard that.
We heard that. You know, we be out, we you know, we're prophets of God. We out there with them.
Right.
We hear them say this stuff.
That's right.
Man, that's just too much. Man, I don't need that, man. That's too strict for me.
There's too many rules. I want to live as a spirit on the earth, as a free spirit.
I'm a free spirit.
I'm a free spirit.
Well, it's just like Christianity, there's too many rules for them too. All they want to do is believe and do whatever the hell you want.
Well, you know, but that's all Christianity tells you, that just believe.
Yeah. So
Just have faith.
So now people think it's all right to just go out here and do whatever because Christianity ain't told them no different.
Right.
They think it's all right to just do whatever you want out here.
Right. Man, Christianity, your Christian pastors don't give a damn about what you do or how you do it, as long as you just bring them tithes.
Man, you on point with that one because they'll just be like, oh, you into that spiritual burning incense, you know, having your altar, a drink offering, things like that. Well, I mean, that's not what I do, but as long as you pay your tithes, you're
I
all
can't
right
judge
with
you,
it.
brother. I can't judge you, sister. But hey, you know that. Hey, I mean, you know, hey.
You know, tithes was of the Levitical priesthood.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course. So then now, and that's what we gotta look at. We have to understand, y'all, is that hey, you know, this is real crazy. This is messed up. And Satan is setting up his kingdom. Satan is setting up his kingdom. Christ is getting ready to return. And understand it. All I can tell you is this. There's never been two winners. There was a loser and there was a winner. There was the one that defeated and there's the one that got defeated.
That's right.
And I don't want to be on the defeated side.
Nope.
So now, understand it. You keep on playing with God. There's another way to the kingdom of heaven besides going through Jesus, what Oprah Winfrey said years ago. And now Oprah Winfrey talking about, oh yeah, God, you know what I'm saying? Hey, she's talking about God more now than what she ever talked about.
Oh, wow.
And it's not sincere.
No.
It's not sincere. And the thing about it is that, you know what I'm saying? How can you, we all gonna take different roads to get to the hey, you gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way, and we all gonna end up in the same place. No, the hell we ain't. I'm not. I know where I'm going.
Right.
I got the roadmap right here. The Bible.
That's it.
This is the roadmap. It's gonna take me and lead me to where I need to be. Anything else you want to add? Or you?
Yeah, just I still ain't finished it out. It said, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done when our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. That's what she said. She's like, I've seen action in my life since I've been doing. I ain't never hear no response from Jesus, but now I hear from my ancestors, these familiar spirits, the Queen of Heaven. When I make these altars, I see change in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not knowing. It's all leading to death.
It's all leading to death. There's a way that seems right unto a man.
There you go.
Let me have that. Can you get that right quick, please?
Yeah, I got you.
There's a way that seems right. It seems right that what you're practicing and what you're doing.
Make me feel good.
It make you feel, oh yeah.
I'm connected with my ancestors.
Mm-hmm. I ain't got no direct line with the Lord, but I got a direct line with my dead mama and grandparents and all this familiar spirit stuff.
Shoot,
I got a direct line.
They
them,
talk to me.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Oh man.
Let me have that, bro, please.
Proverbs 14:12.
Come on.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
There's a way that seemeth right unto a man. It seemeth right. You burn it, got your altar set up. You got glasses of water and burning incense and got a liquor bottle with a shot of liquor and stuff like that for your ancestors and stuff.
I got the cross sitting right here on top of it.
Yeah. It seems right. It seems right. But check it out. Come
But
on.
the end thereof are the ways of death.
It's the way of death. Your ass is gonna die. And you're gonna have to pay for everything what you're doing. I gotta get my chakras lined up. My chakras out of, my energy is just, I gotta remove this negative energy. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? They respect, they replace the energy for spirits. Mm-hmm. The most divine and all that stuff, they replace that with God. Man, y'all ain't doing no. Satan is actually setting up his kingdom, and a lot of y'all are gonna be damn fooled when the time comes.
Oh yeah.
If you believe a delusion, he'll see a strong one.
Of course, and we're Israelite though, but we're here to debunk that, pull down the strong delusions and everything.
That's right.
Let's get that video, and we're gonna go back to the next sister. But y'all stay with us, y'all check it out. I hope it's making some sense to you, brothers and sisters. And so that y'all can you know what I'm saying, hey, but we just gotta see this thing for what it really is, y'all. Okay.
Ironically,
that
it
sage.
is often because of that kind of religious conservatism.
This where we're going,
that
or you want to skip
people
around?
Dr. Yvonne Chareau studies African and indigenous religions.
A lot of these religions came to the United States after the Middle Passage, after the period of slavery. Like other immigrants, they bring their cultures and their religions. But because when they come to the United States, they're often met with hostility, they tended to be secretive.
Can you talk about the role that social media has played? Because especially if we're talking about the younger generation, they might not be as dedicated to being ordained and, kind of doing all these rituals, but if I go up and down my timeline, now everybody's a witch, everybody's burning sage.
Prior to the turn of the 20th century, they utilized the internet or whatever media was available in order to be spiritual entrepreneurs. They would sell goods and services. They would treat clients.
Entrepreneurs.
With the coming of the digital age, and in particular social media, I really feel like younger people are grabbing on to some of the digital trends where they can sort of brand themselves as practitioners. It's a kind of identity to be a part of this. So the internet and social media has certainly helped to popularize it, but I really do feel strongly that this is something of a movement in that young Black people, they are reaching back, they are recovering that which is ancestral, but they're doing it in their own way.
So do you want to light the candles? Should we do that? Okay, I'm going to actually carve my sigils in the candle, this bit here.
Majori is a 29-year-old fashion designer living in New York who practices witchcraft. She casts spells with the coven of other young witches.
We're making money jars.
You see what they're using on herbs?
Different herbs that
herbs,
manifest
oils,
prosperity, money, success. I feel like Hollywood and like in the movies they kind of like gave this idea that magic was scary, and it's like, is this scary? it's not.
Would you consider this your religion as opposed to being Catholic?
Yes, definitely. Divination is my main form of like
Divination.
practice, but being Catholic too, it still like resonates, and there's like some roots in there. I feel like Catholicism is extremely witchy. I mean, drinking the blood of Christ, I mean, that whole sacrament, that's a ritual. Like, it is witchcraft. They just don't want to call it that. I just feel like we kind of need to get rid of that taboo mentality of like, this is something that is like evil or, harmful, because it's not at all. It's the complete opposite of that.
Do you feel like in the last 5 to 10 years or so that is happening?
Because of social media, there's a
Because of social media.
Social media.
Being more vocal about their practice and being more comfortable expressing themselves and showing their craft. And I think that's very beautiful.
This is Ultra Magica, or crystals, coming out of the broom closet. So I have the Majori, the punk priestess here in the flesh.
For many young spiritualists, the online community has replaced the one they might have had at church, but without the strict mandates that come with other religions.
Without the strict
I'm
mandates.
not the type of witch that likes to subscribe to rules. I just
See?
do whatever it is I please.
Just
If
do
it
whatever I
doesn't
want
fit
to.
the spell, I will improvise. It is what it is.
Ain't no rules in witchcraft.
It's like oppressive. We need to have, the system. You have to be a certified, tarot reader. And it's like, I want to, dismantle and get rid of that because that's not what healership really is. You don't.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. You don't have to subscribe to these rules because, who's telling you these things? It's, again, have your own independent thought. That is what divination is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the black and Latin woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Israelite woman.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Okay,
Yeah,
there's a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to play it or you want to keep it going?
We can hold out for right now.
Okay.
We can hold out for right now. So, so what do you think about it, though, bro? Because it was a lot that was said with the fact of that we touched on it. We touched on it, talking about they didn't. The one sister that talked about saying that how the sacrament or communion is a ritual.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? But,
And see, the thing is, whenever you read the scriptures, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh, that sounds like witchcraft. Like, for example, with the sacrifice, you may think, oh, that sounds like witchcraft. No. The law is spiritual, all right? You want to give me that?
Yeah.
In Romans 7 and verse 14.
Right.
And see, the reason why the Most High, he didn't say, hey, don't deal with familiar spirits because all them people trying to con you, all of them fake. He didn't say don't deal with necromancers because all of them lying, none of them telling the truth. No, that's not what he said. He said don't deal with those things because, first of all, that's what the other nations do. But secondly, it's because it'll put some evil spirits on you. You playing around with something you don't understand the power of.
Right.
All right? When God gave us the laws, he said, look, here's what you're supposed to do because these are going to affect you in a positive way. All right, all that other stuff, he kept us from it to protect us.
That's right.
To keep us from those negative effects that come from all this.
That's
all
right.
So yeah, you got that in Romans.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
Right. So as the sister said, she said, well, I don't like all the rules. I like to do whatever I want to do, whatever I please. Right? That's carnal being sold under sin. But the law is spiritual.
Right.
If we all do whatever we want to do, the world would be hell. It'd be a lawless place like what we're in America now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the law itself is spiritual. So when he gives the law about the communion, about eating the body of Christ, that's all symbolic. Right?
Exactly.
It's just symbolic.
It's just a symbol.
It just shows that, hey, we have an agreement with Christ, that we recognize what he did for us. That's all that is.
That's
right?
it.
But when it comes to the law, God give us these rules and these regulations to help us. They're for our good. You see what I'm saying? Thou shalt do no murder. Right?
Right.
That's so this brother can live, so that I can live, and we don't have to get into conflict right there. He said, hold not love thy neighbor as thyself, right? Hold not a grudge against the children of thy people.
Right.
That's so we don't get into strife, so we don't get into conflict. You see what I'm saying? Thou shalt not steal. That's so we don't end up taking things from others and envying what others want, and taking what other people have, so that we don't end up in trouble. Because if I steal from this brother, he's gonna come back, he's gonna take back either more, or he's gonna come back and we're gonna get into a fight, we're gonna get into a disagreement. You see what I'm saying? It's all to keep us from these things. God said, thou shalt not eat the swine, it is unclean. So we don't get gout. So we don't have high blood pressure. So we don't have
cancer.
Exactly. So we don't have heart attacks at the age of 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, God give us these laws for our good. God said if you have sex with a woman, you're supposed to marry her.
That's it.
Right? God give us that to prevent the spread of STDs. God give us that to prevent single parent households, to build up the communities. God give us these things for our good. And people just looking at it, well, I don't like the rules. I want to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Okay, you keep doing that, you're going to find the ways of death.
Then forgive me though. for all these witches and macromancers and charmers and everything, and people with that's familiar with that's acquainted with the familiar spirits, why the hell they can't see shit for their own lives?
You talk to all these dead people, can't talk to nothing about your own life.
Ain't nobody telling you nothing about, oh, you gonna get this, and you gonna get that, and you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know brothers in prisons. They're jailhouse lawyers. You know what I'm saying? They're jailhouse lawyers. I mean, I know some brothers that's in prison that work for other lawyers outside in the free world. Guess what? They do investigations and certain files of cases and stuff and all this stuff, man. Hey, and these boys are good at what they do. These guys can turn around and take your case. You can get them their case. They're like, hey man, yo, here go my photo on my case, man. Okay, I got you. Give me a couple of days, and I'm gonna find a loophole where you can get out. You're gonna be able to get out at least a year, 2 or 3. You ain't even gotta do all your time when I get done with this case. And guess what? He get them off. Several of them. But he can't do it for his own damn case. He can't do it for himself. He can't get his own self off the charge that he got. How? But you're practicing witchcraft, and you getting all this insight and enlightenment from the dead and everything. And guess what? But you still struggling. You still hurting.
Giving everybody else their tarot card reading.
You still got pain. You still got, you know what I'm saying?
Can't fix your own problem.
You can't fix nothing about yourself. And that's how I know that foolishness of these familiar spirits, you know what I'm saying? Have I ever had a dream about my father before since he's been dead? Yeah, I have. It wasn't nothing that, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like that. It was, hey. You know, my father was telling me a lot of times when I had a dream about him, I was messing up bad.
Yeah.
He's like, boy, you know you messing up, right? I mean, man, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I ain't coming up here talking about some, man, the spirits told me that this and that and other, this, that, and the third. No. I'm sorry. Hell. And so then this is what we got to look at, y'all. This is what we got to understand about these familiar spirits. This stuff ain't nothing, man, but just confusion.
That's right.
God is not the author of confusion. If confusion don't come from God, who does it come from?
Satan.
It comes from Satan. For the enemy is he comes to what? Kill, steal, and destroy.
That's right.
Anything you want?
Well, no, I just
okay.
1 Corinthians 14, where you said God is not the author of confusion.
Correct.
I got that for you. 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 33.
Read.
For God is not the author of confusion.
Come on.
But of peace.
Peace.
As in all the churches of the saints.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
But of peace. You don't have no peace. You're trying to go through your chakras and you're trying to do all these things with, your third eye and, yoga and, you know what I'm saying? All that and, chanting and, burning incense around you and, to find peace.
Doing all this witchcraft stuff to find peace. But it's here up under your nose the whole time.
It's here up under your nose. You don't trust God. just because you can't have your way. You're so spiritually wounded and hurt because of something that you didn't understand. Instead of coming to the right people that can give you the right answer, you turned around and just said, I don't want to do this no way, because if this person gonna say one thing, that person gonna say something else, that person gonna, and they all gonna be saying the same thing. No, you just ain't turned to the right people. You just ain't turned to the right people. And so then that's what we got to look at, and we got to see this thing. You're so spiritually wounded and hurt. God said, he said, be mad, but sin not. You feeling the way that you feel, is it not natural? Of course it's natural. It's natural for you to feel the way that you feel. But you didn't trust God. You didn't trust God. You trusting what man tell you. You know, these narcissists and all these other people, man, that have mental disorders. And you know, narcissists are demon driven, demon possessed driven.
What's that?
Narcissists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My therapist. Yes, y'all, I'm in therapy. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about this thing. You know, I was talking to a therapist. Well, not my therapist, but it was another therapist I was talking to, and you know, we were just talking about narcissism and all that, and she was like, well, you know, yes, you know, hey, you know, narcissists are demon. They're driven by demons. Mm. And she's a godly woman too, just as my therapist. You know, they don't like to forgive. They have strife, hatred, malice, all them things, and you know what I'm saying? They're unforgiving and everything. And so then, man, so if you're that hurt so badly, and now they make it it's a lifestyle now. Okay. Yeah, just come to the, wait, you know, girl, you just gotta get on the spiritual side. The spiritual side. 14, 1 Corinthians 14, when Paul said that
37.
Yes, 37, please.
If any man think himself to be a prophet.
If any man think himself to be a prophet, that's what we are. We're prophets. Read.
Or spiritual.
Read.
Let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord.
Understand it. The things that he write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. Understand it. Hey, you're prophet or spiritual, you got to keep the commandments. You can't be spiritual and not keep laws, statutes, and commandments of God.
That's right.
It's all baloney if you don't.
You're only believing into your own thoughts.
That's right. Lean into your own understanding. That's
exactly.
all that is. Not trusting in God.
Exactly. Not trusting in God. So they're understanding. You cannot call yourself being spiritual and you instead of keeping all these, doing everything you want to do, screwing whoever you want to do, polygamy, doing all this other nasty filthiness.
All about pleasure.
All for pleasure for yourself, for self-gratification.
That's it.
You can't call yourself to be spiritual and you're living and you're not keeping law, statutes, and commandments. Law, statutes, and commandments is the link. Understand it. It's the link. It's just like a link on a chain on a bicycle. If that link break or come loose, guess what happened? The chain comes loose. It's like the screw in the middle of a pair of scissors. You take that screw out the middle of the scissors, you can't use the scissors. But they want to sit up here and, you know, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual.
Hey, I like that bike analogy that you used there. So let me run with that for a minute.
Run with it.
Because if you take the chain off the bike, right? Mm-hmm. The chain being the commandments of God. And you try to move the pedals they gonna go, but you ain't going nowhere.
You just run to the place.
You think you going somewhere because the pedal's moving, but you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere.
Man, that's heavy.
So yeah, y'all, hey, man, and this what I'm saying, man, hey, man, so, but yeah, like I said, the Most High God told us, the Israelites, that he said that we're not to He told us, he said to the children of Israel not to practice those things.
That's right.
Witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, all them things. He told us don't do these things. All these things come out of Africa. The land of Ham. The Hamites and the Kemetic people in the continent of Africa. There's 55 countries in Africa. It's not no country, it's a continent.
Right.
And they practicing everything over there, sticking their heads up elephant butts and all that foolishness. Just filth. Just filth. Let me get Leviticus 19 and 31 on the familiar spirits, bro.
Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 31.
Read.
Regard not them that have familiar spirits.
Regard not them that have familiar spirits. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. They have the ability to talk to the dead.
Right, a medium or a psychic.
Right. Come on.
Neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them.
And neither speak to wizards to be defiled by them. Understand it. So those that we know that say they spoke to dead people or, understand it. Those are familiar spirits.
It didn't turn out too good for Saul, did it?
Nah, it didn't. And so, you know what I'm saying? Hey. And so, y'all, this is what we got to come to the point of realization of and to understand it. This stuff is not, the Bible said there's nothing new under the sun.
That's right. These people who are, like I said, you'll only be defiled by these people that are in witchcraft, that are in any type of sorcery. Like as you made reference to Saul over there, Brother Joe. You said, it didn't benefit Saul. What happened with Saul? He talked to the woman that had a familiar spirits, and she told him that you're going to die. And that's what ended up happening. He ended up dying a few days later. Mm-hmm. All right. So when it comes to these people with the witchcraft, the only result from you dealing with these people that deal with this stuff is you're going to be defiled by them.
Right.
And the end thereof is death.